Hello, everyone. This is John Braun with Hitman Advertising. Tonight, I'm doing a special interview with a longtime coaching club member, Mr. Dan Traub of Four Seasons Rug Care Studio in Camarillo, California. How are you doing tonight, Dan?
Hi, John. I'm real well. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good, good. Thanks for doing this interview. I really appreciate it. I think a lot of the guys that are doing carpet cleaning and thinking about getting into rug cleaning, or even if they're not thinking about getting into rug cleaning, they are going to get a lot of good stuff from what we're going to talk about tonight, from some of the successes that you've done. And I really just want to pick your brain, because you've really grown your business quite a bit over the last few years, and so I really just wanted to touch base with you. We've been talking on the phone. We've been talking about some of the things that you've been doing, and I've been talking about doing this interview for a while. So I'm glad that we finally got a chance to do it. So. All right. Well, if it's
Yeah.
okay, we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing that I wanted to start talking about is goal setting. You've always heard me talk about, and other business professionals that teach business planning, one of the biggest things they always talk about is goal setting. So, when did you actually start writing down your goals, and what play did that make for you? How did that really help you in your creating your business and really systemizing your business and getting your business up and going?
It was when I met you at the Experience Carpet Cleaners Convention and Restoration Professionals
Yeah.
Convention, probably back in 2009, I believe. And, it inspired me how you had grown your carpet cleaning business, Premium Carpet Care, and you had went ahead and started your coaching business and your advertising business and your hit out of the month club thing. And at the same day, I met Dusty Roberts. Same day, I met Jeff Bishop, who was demoing his rug cleaning methods. And the same day, I went to a Howard Partridge class on how to grow your business
Wow. Yep. That's a
and
lot of
how to
good
get over
info
the
all in
fear.
one day.
Yeah, it was a really good convention. And somebody mentioned who was there, another carpet cleaner from Portland. One of his keynote points was, "You don't know what you might be hearing that might come from God. God might be helping you by being here. He might give you some way to get out of debt, or some way to, grow your business, or some way to make it more than just a job that you go to in your van." So it resonated what you all were saying with me, that it wasn't really about just getting different equipment or having this great device that does something in your cleaning systems. That it was about taking stock of ourselves. And I really like that saying, that the only reason your business exists is so that you can find your dreams in your life,
Right.
and to give you freedom. So that resonated with me, and I began that process of you know, they call it University,
Yep.
listening to positive things instead of just talk news radio, and
Yep.
um, having ways to play tapes, CDs, and MP3s to listen to uh, all kinds of different people peculiar to our cleaning industry and peculiar to just business growth and personal development, and writing down these goals. John Maxwell says that there's three things he does. He he thinks, he writes, and he catalogs and organizes.
That's
You know,
right.
so I started doing that, and I'm no champion of it, but the bit that we have done, and maintain doing it in our lives, we've done some good things in our business. And one of the best things is adding this Oriental and area rug cleaning shop side of our business.
Great. That's perfect. And so, I'm not going to ask you to share any sales numbers unless you want to, of course. But I know that you have more than doubled, if not even tripled, your business since really, really getting in and really hammering down these systems and these marketing systems. But did you originally write down goals when you first started doing this in 2009, 2010, after we first started talking about doing this type of stuff? And did you make goals that you thought were unachievable? Or talk a little bit about that. Did you make goals that were too lofty, or how were you thinking in that process at that point?
Okay, perfect. Uh, you know, running a carpet cleaning business out of my house with one van, I used to have to do things like get a helper from a labor staffing agency, or even guys who stood in front of Home Depot looking for work for the day. And everything was so touch and go that, I really didn't want to keep it that way. So the goal was to have our own shop, because Michael Gerber had said, never operate out of your house. Have your house be a sacred place, and then have your
Right.
business be sacred also, but that's another sacred place that you go to. And then
Absolutely.
eventually maybe even have an office away from your business,
Yep. Yep.
where the business owner is in his own business owner
That'd be fun.
business. So, yeah, so we started setting those goals, not really as financial goals, but just as things to do. And of
Okay.
course, we knew we would need more sales to do that. Um, I think looking back, probably would have been good if we said, well, wait a minute, what is going to be our operating expense? So how much money do we really need to make? Because, we found that initially in doing that, we were growing our sales. However, we had more expenses also. So it took a couple of years to go, well, wait a minute, we really need to take this goal planning to another level, where we need to know how much money does the business need to make now that it has these other expenses, of a shop to pay rent on, and
Right.
multiple carpet cleaning vans, and stuff like that, and multiple, I think we even have a cargo van that's an empty van with wood on the floor, and for rug delivery, some people use a box van. So with all of that, there's more insurance and everything. And as we go, we just kind of get more used to better systems of goal planning. And,
Right.
you can never learn enough. I mean, we went to an Ellen Rohr financial planning thing, and she's consulted with some great plumbing companies and been part of taking companies to go public and things like that. So that's helped us too, right? To get
Right.
input from people like that
Right.
lately.
Yeah, having your knowing your numbers and having your numbers set are a definite imperative part of goal setting, because for instance, if your goal is to add an employee, I mean, this is a question I get all the time. John, I want to add a full-time technician. Well, one of the things you need to do to be able to get that in place is you got to have your sales in place, right? If your sales aren't at least $150,000, I really don't recommend that you add another technician. Maybe you could if you really wanted to take a little bit of a pay cut, but your sales numbers need to be at least that per year to be able to add a technician, and from there you need to start trying to boost it up from there, even really, if you want to keep that technician and grow the actual business. So all of these things, like having a shop too. I remember one of the reasons why I really started getting into rug cleaning. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but one of the reasons I started getting into rug cleaning is back in when was this 2004, and my wife finally decided, you need to get the business out of the garage. I'm sick of you cleaning rugs in the garage, because of course I did that too. I'm sick of not having my
Uh-huh.
garage. She wanted to park her minivan in the garage, or a nice new minivan, and so I'm like, okay, geez, I was okay with having it in the house, but she wasn't. So I thought, well, then I need to, we're going to get a shop, but the whole goal for that is going to be to build rug cleaning. And that's exactly what I did. I needed to add, for whatever the rent was, we needed to make that plus the cost for our labor to accommodate at least breaking even, was the goal initially, doing a couple $1,000s a month in rug cleaning to be able to pay for the rent, to be able to pay for the extra labor to do rugs. And we've done that. And in plus two, we had the signage. We're on a sort of busy street. And so that's the thing. Your sales goals need to correlate with some of your goals for growing your business, adding employees, adding a shop, and all of that. So that
It
make
does. And, one of the things that the folks over at Howard's coaching company have been saying lately is, we wish we had put more effort, and I know Michael Gerber has said this on his audio books too, and on his books, that we put too much effort into giving people systems, when we didn't put enough effort into making sure that these business owners were really doing some good personal development.
right,
Because, for instance, if you're not good at hiring the right people, and you sort of like everybody, you may hire some people who, Kyle Wilson was a friend of Jim Rohn, and gives keynote speeches about what Jim Rohn shared with him. And one of his sayings is, if you hire the wrong person, it's a threat to your company. And I can
Yep.
testify, we've had guys crash some of our vans, and
Oh, sure.
that caused huge financial setbacks, only to find out that they have such substance issues that they had a relapse we know about. And so there's a lot that you can benefit by just by becoming better personally, as you ease into this business growth thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, good. Well, let's talk a little bit about marketing and what you did in your business. What type of marketing did you do initially to really start to get that extra oomph and growth in your business, and what's worked for you?
Okay, absolutely. First of all, we did get to double our income pretty quick by adding rug cleaning. And I can't, really separate the idea of marketing from education, right? Because you can't go out there and market something if you're not educated enough. You know what I mean? You may have the business coming in, and we've been taking care of a lot of rugs lately for guys that bring them to us, and they thought they were educated enough, and they screwed up the rug, and they bring it to us, and we try to save it.
Neat.
And so let's not forget about the education too, and we'll come back to that later. The special education that you should have for area rug cleaning,
Neat.
that you might not be able to just read about and gain from books and magazines and things. But the marketing, the most important thing I would say is a dedicated website, because as an area rug cleaner who does a full cleaning, not just cleaning the tops in somebody's family room and living room and dining room and hoping it doesn't get too wet on the hardwood floor, but really does a thorough cleaning, both sides of the rug, whatever rinse method you're using, that sets you apart. So you should be
Right.
standing on the mountaintop yelling about that, how you're different from all those carpet cleaners who clean rugs the way that they do it on people's driveways or inside their house. And a dedicated website is something that you, John, have really helped us with, and we still benefit greatly from the site that you built us years ago, which is a self-content management site that we can go ahead and not only update the homepage and other pages, add pages, but also go ahead and use the blog page that's on it to help get and maintain the ranking.
Yeah, and the important thing, the thing that I love about guys and some of my clients like you guys, is you actually take the website and do stuff with it. I mean, you put the right pictures on there. I always recommend you put pictures of you cleaning, put educational articles and talk about some of the certifications that you've gotten, and actually educate your potential clients and your current clients, and then send out emails and give links in that email to your blog. You do all of that stuff, and that's why you're successful with your website. You have the locator map on the main page. You've done pretty much everything I've recommended, and therefore it's translated into you actually getting business from your website. So I love when clients actually do what I'm asking them to do. So, but internet marketing right now is still just huge, and it probably will be for the foreseeable future. And doing things on Facebook and with email marketing, and then as well too, I know you do quite a bit. We were just talking right before the call, before we started the recording, about how you're mailing to your clients regularly. How important do you feel that is? And talk a little bit about that.
It's really important because statistically, there are many business teachers who are convinced that the biggest mistake that small business owners make is not regularly mailing to their previous clients, thanking them for their business, providing them with engagement, entertainment, and education, because that, again, it sets you apart, and people are like, oh yeah, that's right. Dan's carpet cleaning company, that Four Seasons out there in Camarillo, they're different. That's right. Yeah, I remember that when the technician they sent here to pick up our rugs was here, how he talked about that area rug cleaning shop they have, and they got some kind of worldwide certification where they go to a special school for 3 days to learn how to wash rugs. So, it helps you to remind people so that other companies who are also doing that EDDM type of marketing aren't going to take your customers away. It helps to retain them. And, um, there's always incidents happening. Dog barfed on the rug. The dog messed on the rug. Probably if they invented a pill, that would make pets so that they would like got smarter, could follow orders better, and not pee and
We'd
stuff
all
on
go out of
rugs, we'd
business.
lose a lot of money. Right?
Yeah, we'd
That would
all
be
go out of
bad.
business probably just about, or at
Yeah.
least reduce our business significantly. The main thing is, and you even hit on this some. The big thing about communicating with your clients, not just through email. Email's great, Facebook's great. Don't just depend on that because a lot of your clients don't want to get emails from you. But snail mail, postcards, newsletters. The thing about that is really twofold. You're
Yeah.
educating them, and through that education too, giving them special offers, but also too, you're maintaining that relationship because the thing is that you're going to go out to their house, pick up their rugs, or they're going to drop the rugs off, or you're going to clean their carpet. And a year, 2 years may go by before they ever think about really needing you again, right? Just naturally think about needing you again. Now, if you're mailing them stuff about you went out to do the rugs, you're mailing them stuff about tile cleaning. Well, 6 months or a year later, instead of another year after that, they might think about tile cleaning now, right? Also, too, if one of their friends needs area rug cleaning or some other type of cleaning, that relationship is still there, and it's even enhanced because now you're mailing stuff to them, and they're going to be more apt to remember your company name and even hand your card to one of their friends. So many. I haven't been out to my clients' homes very much at all in the last 8-9 years, and my clients that I cleaned 4 years ago still talk about me when they call, mostly because they don't really remember me, but they remember my picture and my name that I have in the newsletters and the postcards every now and then. I've maintained that relationship simply by mailing them postcards and client newsletters every couple of months, right? That's how you do it.
And
That's what it's about.
if we could just mention too, the statistics of flooring show that you know, when I got my business started with my wife 15 years ago almost now, there was a lot of houses where even their kitchen might have carpet in it,
Right.
The whole house had carpet.
Yep.
Even a big 3,000 square foot house was almost all carpeted.
Yep.
Now, a lot of them, you've got so many, mostly different types of hard surface, wood over here, travertine over there,
Right.
and some bedrooms and stairs may have carpet. So it's really important to be cleaning that tile and that stone, and important to be cleaning the area rugs that are on there, because if you're not doing it, and you're not doing it well, and you're not doing it in a way that's I would say very professional, if not world class, professionally, then someone else is going to be getting into that home and cleaning those rugs and
Right.
cleaning those tiles and cleaning those stones, and you may lose the customer,
Right.
as opposed to them seeing you as a resource to just make it simple, where you can clean all their furnishings and floors.
Right. I know for us, we felt like we had to get into tile cleaning. There's a lot of tile here in Florida, and therefore a lot of area rugs. But like you said, we'd go to a client's house. They'd be thrilled with us. We'd come back a year later, and that 3,000 square foot house doesn't have 1,700 square foot of carpet anymore. Now it's got carpet just in the bedroom. So now we're only cleaning 600-700 square feet of carpet, and there's tile or there's hardwood or something, so that's why we felt like we really had to stay in business and to stay on top, is to get into area rug cleaning. So yep, it goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand for sure. Anything else that you wanted to mention about marketing before we move on?
Well, yeah, and again, marketing, as you go into adding area rugs, is very important, because people will forget. You have to remind, and if you can bring back a rug on that job where they used to have 1,600 square feet, and now they only have 700 square feet of carpet, even if they're not having your company clean their tile at this time, you can bring back a rug, because we tend to charge. We personally charge between $3.20 a square foot on up to $6. I'm sorry, $5.82 a square foot.
That's great.
More for the more per square foot for the smaller rugs,
Right.
natural fiber area rugs. So that can replace that revenue, and it's great because of all the things that we can talk about later about the advantages of that business. Marketing it, though, yeah, it doesn't stop with just the website, but the website's very important because, like I said, there's events. First thing they're going to do is look on the internet and see what's out there because they're emotionally charged up. We had one, somebody spilled a bottle of Tabasco sauce. The guy just lost control of it, and it went flying onto his 100% silk,
Oh no.
Persian rug. So, of course, they didn't say, well, let's call that rug dealer tomorrow. And, they were right there calling us on the internet, come down and get it. Because they were smart, because you don't want to. Unfortunately, some people do go ahead and use voodoo from the internet to. We had somebody who mixed together baking soda and vinegar recently and tried to
Right.
clean out the spill, which can only make it worse and set it. But other marketing things are just what they call referral-based marketing, that there are interior designers out there who don't know who to send their clients to get oriental and fine area rugs cleaned. So it's a huge asset to them if they can have vendors who specialize in things that are hard to find somebody who takes care of that. Then that makes them look good too.
Right.
And it's important. I guess meeting these interior designers can be a little tricky because they don't sometimes have a shop. But you know what? Once you meet some of them, they tell each other.
Yep.
That's what I've been finding,
Yep.
and they just start calling. Um, what about you out there in Pensacola? How do you connect with interior designers to send you high-end business?
Well, we do a few different things, a couple of different things. One, we do have some interior designers that have a shop or have an office, and of course, we'll go down, we'll bring goodie bags full of little famous Amos or Chips Ahoy cookies with some of our brochures. We have brochures on rug cleaning, we have brochures on tile cleaning, and natural stone polishing. We don't really do that as much anymore, but when we did, we would bring them those. Those are the biggest things that a interior designer is going to refer us for. And we don't do drapery cleaning at all. Otherwise, that'd be a good thing to go for that. And then we, just smile and hand them the goodie bag, and we give them little $50 gift cards. You've seen little gift cards that we've got, and we give them those and say, we want to give you these gift cards for you to use either in your home or you can use it at a client's job or give these to clients, but we want to give you these as a gift to give out. And they use them, and it works really, really well to start to connect with them. The interior designers that do not have a shop or an office, we buy mailing lists and we just mail to them, and we'll mail to them a sequence of letters. Usually one, two, three sequence, usually of 2 or 3 letters, and then that basically says almost the same thing that I just said when we give them the gift bag, and then we turn around and put them on our mailing list that we mail to all of our other clients when we send them client newsletters and postcards, because we want them to see the professional looking newsletters and the educational stuff that we're sending out. We want our interior designers and our realtors and our rug retailers to see all that same stuff. Why? Like you said a minute ago, Joe Blow, the carpet cleaner, isn't doing that. He's not sending nice looking glossy educational postcards and newsletters out to his clients. So just that alone, they're kind of looking at you and going, wow, well, these guys actually, they must have a real business. They didn't just come in and give us some stuff and that's it. They're actually still mailing us, and we're not letting them forget us. That's kind of the big thing. But and like we talked about too, other thing I wanted to hit on client marketing, when we talked about mailing to clients, and then the whole series of cross-selling all of our other services. One of the most important things we concentrate on when we mail to our clients is making sure they know about all of our services. And then each month we'll kind of highlight a different service. Like the special that we have going on right now is when we come out for any carpet cleaning or tile cleaning or upholstery cleaning, we'll give you $50 in free area rug cleaning. Now, the thing about that is it's usually, I don't know, we won't get into the specifics of do we take it to our shop or do we clean it at the house, but a lot of the times we like to take it to our shop. A few rugs we will clean. I know that's sort of industry taboo with some things, but a few synthetic rugs we might clean inside of their home. But but basically, we give them $50 a credit for $50 in free rug cleaning to be used by a certain date. So in other words, we're trying to inspire rug cleaning. So for their cleaning tile, something like that, they've got area rugs. We want them to clean that. So I wanted to add that
Yeah.
too about client marketing. But yeah, that's kind of a system that works really, really well. And referral marketing is something that needs to be honed and worked on. All of this stuff that we're talking about with marketing is stuff that is built up with inertia. I think that's the important thing to realize. I talk to guys all the time. I was emailing, talking to one of my members the other day who's struggling and getting started and trying to really build his business, and just really trying to convey to him about the whole it's the inertia with this. Don't just go out and talk to a couple of interior designers or a couple of rug retailers or send out one postcard to all of your clients and then sit back and relax and think that now your business is just going to rock and roll. It's a building process. It's building it up, and the better you get at doing it, the better your business is going to be. The better you get at talking to the retailers, the better your business is going to be. But start doing it. If you don't start doing it, you can't better your business. Wouldn't you agree, Dan?
Zig Ziglar said, you don't have to be great to start, but you do
Right.
have to start to be great.
Yep. Yep.
And also, if there's some of this stuff you really can't do, for instance, putting up your WordPress stuff and updating your website, hiring somebody to do that regularly can be something that can work into people's budget
Yep.
and stuff too, because it's just be a little bit careful about SEO contracts and things like that. But
Absolutely.
there are people out there who will help you with some of the stuff if you're just like, oh my God, I don't know any of that techie stuff.
Right.
Don't be scared away by what it's going to take to grow your business to have a great rug cleaning side, because anything that you can't do yourself, you can find people that you can hire to help you do it.
Right. Just don't like you just said, don't blindly do that. I'm a big believer in teaching guys to do it themselves a lot. I don't know that everybody should do all of it themselves, but really that's one of the things that I love doing, that we do in the coaching program is just teaching the guys how to do their own internet marketing, showing them, answering questions about how to do it.
Yeah.
And I know we were talking the other day about how you, really started. You didn't know very much about internet marketing when you first started doing this stuff, and we started teaching you, and now you're, rocking and rolling with your website. You don't know everything, but you know enough to do what you need to do. But I do recommend that everybody at least learn the basics, at least go in and figure out how to do some things on Facebook, how to post to your Facebook wall, do all that stuff. If you don't like to do it, maybe get somebody else in your office or hire somebody else to do it, but at least kind of have your feet wet about knowing what to do, I think is the
Yeah,
big
and
thing.
in WordPress, you give people certain tips. Like there's that whole dashboard thing where the top half of the dashboard toolbar on the left side is stuff
Right.
that you can tweak different things, but don't play around with the bottom half of it. Right?
Right. Yep. I usually tell everybody, hey, there's certain things in there you can mess with and not hurt anything. There's other things you can totally break your site. There's some clients, I don't always tell everybody who I do this with, but there's a few clients where I actually disable some of those other things. Don't want to allow them to
Okay.
actually, yeah. But sometimes guys like to play with some of that other stuff, you know what I mean, and tweak some of the stuff. So, well,
Yeah.
good. Let's talk a little bit about phone scripts, because marketing and getting the phone calls to come in is one thing. Once they come in, you don't know how many times I see guys drop the ball with the phone script. Obviously, the first and most obvious part of all of this is answer the darn phone. And do this and do it live. Actually, have a live person answering the phone. As a side note, this is something I heard on. I can't even remember where, but somewhere on one of the Facebook groups. If you can't answer your phone, the idea is to every morning record a message. And I still recommend that you answer your phone, guys. That's like, even if it's on your cell phone, wherever, answer your phone. But if you can't, maybe the second best would be this: every morning record a message and say, "Hi, this is John with Premium Carpet Care. Today is April 8th, 2016, or maybe not the year, but April 8th, Friday, and I'm out cleaning. But if you leave me a message, I will call you back. And here's the thing too: when I call you back, since I didn't answer the phone, I will give you a 10% discount or 20% or whatever you want to call it off of our regular prices, since you had to leave a message and wait for me to call you back. I will call you back within the next hour to 2 hours. I'm doing a job right now, but as soon as I get done, I'll call you back. But something, see how personal that is, and see how just real that is. You're putting the story and you're letting them know that you're actually out there cleaning. So much better than just, I'm sorry, we're away from the phone. Can you leave your name and number and I'll call you back as soon as I can? Thanks. It's like that's
Yeah, or you have reached
right. You've reached Premium
504.
Carpet Care, or yeah, even worse, just the general Verizon or AT&T message. You have reached 850-474-1133. That's not what
Yeah.
you want. So talking about your phone sales script, let's talk a little bit about that, because I know you do a good job with that for rugs and for carpet cleaning. But what is it that your script is, and how do you work that?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, keep in mind all of the other people that will be answering calls on area rug cleaning and oriental rug cleaning will be doing it the way they do it. A lot of times the way they do it is like this: carpet cleaning. All right. Some people answer the phone like that.
Right.
Yeah, I have an oriental rug that's, so it's an oriental rug? Yes. How big?
Right.
That's what they're going to do. So the idea is to be the opposite of that, to emulate your coach, John Braun, to try to sound cheerful and engaged and positive and upbeat, even if you're not feeling good. Just, the tone of your voice should be friendly and engaging. And then what you want to go ahead and do is find out why they're calling, which service they're interested in, because your message and your method of engaging with them might be a little bit different for area rug cleaning, especially if it's a handmade oriental area rug or Navajo rug or other natural rug. What we do once we find out they're calling about rug cleaning is we go ahead and we jump right into, can I get a little more information first? What can you tell me about this rug?
Right.
And it's amazing, John, sometimes how people will go right to a nostalgic place then, instead of it just being the emotion they called with, which is being worried that your company might charge them more than they had wanted to spend and that sort of thing. And all of a sudden they're telling you that the was inherited, or that the rug was their mother. And then you can sort of ask, oh yeah, that's interesting. How's your mother doing lately? Oh, well, yeah, as a matter of fact, she passed away a month ago. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, it must be a wonderful rug. What else can you tell me about this rug? Well, it's red, white, and blue. It's got fringes. And, I remember growing up in that house in Connecticut, and it's actually my grandparents' rug, and I can still picture my grandmother sweeping off the rug. They're telling you all this stuff. Don't interrupt them, because there's money in that story. There's a lot more that rug needs than that the rug needs, probably, than just cleaning. It probably needs a cushion, a pad, to be sold to them that you can
Right.
them and put under it. It probably needs to be treated with fiber protectors so it doesn't get permanently stained. If you do offer repairs, it may need repairs. So there's all these different things, and the more you can get them to engage in a story, the more that they're later going to be game to make extra expenditures upon this rug, which is good for you, because the whole thing is to try to take it to a place where, instead of making money getting lots of rugs, that's good, but get lots of money for each rug also. That's what's really going to help you. So that's the most important thing about how to start off with your selling process. And then, after that, they're going to want a ballpark quotation on the phone. Don't tell them, I'll come over there and look at it, no strings attached, we'll just look at it. That's not good, because that puts you in a place if you're going to give somebody a bid. At that point, you're not an artisan, you're not you want them to find out about you. They may not have really explored your website, so in the conversation, they're going to start to suss out your expertise, whether you tell them your cleaning process or not. They're going to start to suss it out. But we do tell them our cleaning process. Would you mind if I explain our wash process to you. And what we say, since we don't guarantee to immerse every rug, is we say, there's some you cannot immerse, like a Navajo rug must be completely dry cleaned in some cases, for instance. We say our process includes many steps, beginning with inspection and then dry soil removal and testing, followed by the application of a natural shampoo, and finally a rinse or wash process, but we choose the rinse or wash process that's right for your rug. And then finally we give them a description of our drying and grooming process. And once we explain all that to them, then we're no longer like a company giving a bid. They're like, wow, you really do all that? Wow. And so that's kind of what we have written out, and it tells where to listen and what to say if they say that, and what to say if they say this.
Good, good. I think two things. One of the most important things that you talked about is getting them to start talking. One of the first things you learn when you learn about the sales process and selling is that you need to get your buyer talking. Once you get your buyer talking, they are buying, right? They're telling you all about the things that they need. Well, every time they start to open up their mouth and talk about that rug, about their carpet, about their tile, they're buying from you. So you shut up, you listen, and you ask them questions about their rug, about their tile. So that's super important, especially with something like a rug. 'Cause like you said, some of these things aren't just like a carpet where you move out of that house and you don't have it anymore. They had it when they were little, and their parents had it when they were little. This is a family heirloom in some cases. Granted, that's not,
Right.
but at least then what I love too is sometimes you're talking to people and they're telling you how their dog threw up all over the rug, whatever, urinated all
Yeah.
over it and everything. And then you're asking them about the history of the rug. Well, I got it at Walmart. Okay, well, now you know where you're standing, and unless they just are in love with the color of this rug and they can't find another one, sometimes you even consult them toward, well, you might just want to buy a new rug because it's going to cost $200 to clean this rug and deodorize this rug.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and how much did you pay for that rug at Walmart? Well, I only paid 150. Well, you might. I'd probably steer you toward getting another rug.
Right, right, and that
Then
leads to another issue too. In this rug sales script, if you will, it's important that you set yourself up as the consultant by asking those questions, like a
right,
doctor does. He doesn't just say, "Oh, you have a headache? Let me write you a prescription." He says, "When did you first notice the headache? Is it
right,
more when you're standing up, more when you're laying down, more in the morning, more at night? What are you currently taking for it?" So by the doctor asking all those questions, and then he writes you the prescription, you know that he's a good doctor, right?
he's
So it's the same
professional.
thing. Yeah, by
Right,
asking those questions. And when you ask the questions, you're also, see, they don't know what kind of area rug they have more than half of the time.
right,
In order to give them some sort of ballpark quotation over the phone, you have to ID it over the phone. They can, yes, take pictures and then send you pictures of the front and the back, but that's not really good because Zig Ziglar said people buy based on emotion. It's an emotional decision, and there's a transference of emotion when they make the purchase. So, you don't really want to say, why don't you go ahead and hang up and take some pictures and send me the pictures so we can figure out
no,
what kind of rug you have. What you want to go ahead and do is, remember, a rug has a face, it has a back, it has a serging, and that's the edges and fringes. So it has sides and edges, face and back. We need to talk to the customer about what the rug is. Now, if they say, "I know it's a Persian rug, I know it's 100% silk," there's some times when they know exactly what kind of rug they have. That's a different situation. But if they don't know, you want to be asking them things like this: what does the face of the rug look like? The top. What color is it? What colors are in it? Now, next question: what color is the back? Is it a solid color? Is there some kind of cloth over the back? Because if it is, then it's a hand-tufted rug, and your prices are going to be different for a hand-tufted wool rug than for a hand-knotted wool
right,
rug. Now, never say tufted, say hand-tufted, because that adds more value to it. It's handmade still, right?
right.
So you can still get a good price for a hand-tufted rug. And in that, that'll help you to give them a ballpark quotation. And then finally say, this is the investment you would be making. Would you like to make arrangements to bring it here where we can unload it for you, or would you prefer to make an appointment to have our pickup and delivery team come and pick it up from your location?
Good question. Yeah.
By doing that, it's a yes, yes close. It's
Right.
not, is this price okay? It's, this is the price. Which way would you like to make this purchase?
Right. Good alternate of choice close with that. And of course, you try to steer them toward dropping it off at your shop, right? I know we do. But isn't that
Yes.
the way you try to do it? Right. Because, frankly, it costs a lot of money. I know we actually charge a pickup and delivery fee. When I was talking to you before, I understand that you don't. What you do is you give them a discount. If that's so, maybe you could talk a little bit about that, about how you do that and steer them toward it. We just tell them it's going to
Yeah.
be a 32.50 charge each way, which we kind of even lose money off of, and sometimes we tell them that if they have any problems with
Yeah.
the price. That's sort of our gift to you because it costs us more than that to send out. Sometimes two guys. If you got rugs that are big rugs, I mean, it's a lot of times you need two guys to come out to pull these things out from underneath couches, and 32.50 to drive 20 or 30 minutes somewhere there and 20 or 30 minutes back to the shop. 32.50 ain't cutting it. It's not paying the bills. We only make the money off of the rug cleaning. But how do you do that?
We do it by asking that question first,
Yeah.
after giving the price. Would you like to make arrangements to bring it here where we can unload it for you? Remember, they're picturing it in their mind. It's probably a woman. She's going to have her husband or her son or the guy who mows the lawns throw the rug in her SUV, and tomorrow she's going to drive it to our shop where we will unload it for her. She doesn't have to worry about it. So that's an important phrase, where we can unload it for you. And by the way, if you do bring it in, there is a 15% cash and carry price break.
There you go.
So, oh, wow. Definitely have, hey, lawnmower guy, throw that rug in that SUV. They're going to save 15% also. Because if we steer them the other way, then yeah, it's not profitable doing a lot of picking up and delivering, because you have to go ahead and it's harder to put a large area rug back under a sectional sofa than it is to pull it out. You have to kind of
Right.
take the whole sofa apart and take it, and even in some cases, put it on the other side of the room, and then roll out your pad, roll out your rug, build the sofa back up and stuff. So you can avoid doing that. That's a good thing. Although there is an upside to being able to do pickup and delivery. You have to train your people and train yourself to be able to be looking around.
Oh
Zig
yeah.
Ziglar talked about the eagle eye of
Oh
sales.
yeah.
What's my next set, right? So
Right.
when you pick up that rug or you deliver that rug, um, incentivize your team. If you guys bring back more rugs, this is the bonus you get for that. If you guys
Sure.
schedule a sofa cleaning job while you're delivering that rug or picking up that rug, this is the bonus you get for that. So there are ways that we can turn it to our advantage doing these pickups and deliveries too, because we're in that high-end home.
Yep. Yep. I like that, and we may even decide to test out the giving the discount because I like that a lot better. Maybe than just doing the flat fee. I mean, we give them the fee and we expect them to go "Ugh," and choke on it, even though we still aren't making any money off of it. But I think
Uh-huh.
what you might need to do, and I don't know if you do, but I know we would need to still have a minimum. I mean, 'cause you might get somebody that has just a small rug and wants you to come out for pick up the
Oh
rug
yes.
for $150. You can't
Oh
make
yes.
$150 by going out twice and cleaning the rug. So
Uh,
what is the minimum that you have for
What
pickup?
we do is we have our pricing sheet for service tech calls for carpet upholstery and tile cleaning,
Hmm.
and what we go ahead and do, there are different minimums for different parts of our service area, because we have a pretty big service area. So what we do is we go ahead and add $100 to that. In other words, we have a 199 minimum.
Hmm.
Things tend to be kind of expensive in Southern California,
Oh,
so
sure.
our minimum for carpet cleaning is 199 if it's in our neighborhood. So if we're picking up an area rug, it's 299. And
Right.
again, that encourages them to bring it in, right? If
Right.
they have a $120 rug for us that's 4 by 6, then obviously, there's no problem for them bringing it in.
Right.
But yeah, if you're going to go ahead and give them the price break for cash and carry, then you have to add that percentage back into your prices so that your pickup and delivery money is built into your per square foot price.
Right.
And that kind of takes care of that. We like it. We tried both ways, and like you said, people bitch and complain about the $32 fees, and you wind up comping that anyway. So in
Well,
some
we
cases.
we don't. The only time we might is if we're looking at over $1,000 order. At that point, we might, but
Yeah, yeah.
otherwise,
Right.
it's just too much. Because we end up sometimes going out to the beach and going. There's crazy places that we have in our city sometimes
Yeah.
that are out of the way,
Yeah.
and it's just it's
Another
time consuming.
another facet of the pickup and delivery, and is who's going to be doing this.
Right.
So again, if you're a guy who's got one van, you're thinking about starting off adding area rugs to your, to your business, and you've already done some area rugs, however you do it at your house, on their driveway, and inside their house. You want to take it to another level. Don't be scared by the fact that you may have to hire some people, because it's all about learning, just like you learned how to identify a nylon fiber, identify a wool fiber, how to pre-treat, how to use a steam wand, all that stuff. You'll be learning how to hire people and how to avoid hiring the wrong people. I think that 9/10 of who would be willing to come to work for your cleaning company, 9 out of 10 would probably be, at least 9 out of 10 would be people who you should never hire, and you'll never see it coming. They'll
I
do
agree.
okay in an interview. There's just certain things that you can really benefit through a professional background check. You talk about that, John, in your video that you've provided to us all to put on our cleaning websites about professional background checks. That really makes people feel good when they know that the guy who's coming to pick up the rug has had that background check.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's one of the things that we even tell people on the phone when we start talking about a reputation, because they're wondering, does this company have a good reputation? A lot of times they're not going to come out and ask you, do you have a good reputation? Because of course you're just going to say yes. But what they're looking for is proof. Like we talk about on your website, and even too when you're doing any ad or on your website. Let's just talk about that. The two things that you need to prove. First and foremost, prove that you're local, because they're on the internet. They don't always know for sure that you're from your city, so you need to have your city name and things mentioning your city on the website in very prime locations. But furthermore, after that, you quickly need to start talking about your reputation, giving testimonials, awards that you've won in the area, certifications, uh, pictures of you, things like that. But we start talking to people on the phone and saying, well, sure, everybody that we send out to your house has been through complete background checks. We would only send people in your home that we would feel comfortable with having in our own home. And then we follow that with, you're going to love our technicians. So we're telling them these are good people. Oh, okay. In fact, if
Yeah,
you
got
need
it.
some, look at our Google reviews, look at our Facebook reviews, look at our Angie's List reviews if you're part of Angie's List. But we've got a good reputation in the area. We've won the Best of the Bay award for the Pensacola News Journal 3 years in a row. I mean, we've done some things to earn that reputation. So we convince them without any question that we've got a good reputation. Super super important that you do that on the phone for sure.
Absolutely.
So, did you want to talk? Did you want to talk anything else about pickup, or are we going to go ahead and start talking about? I wanted to talk a little bit about the different methods of cleaning. I don't like to get too terribly techy in some of these calls, but we can get a little bit techy and talk about the different methods of rug cleaning and dry cleaning versus immersion and that type of thing.
The only other thing I'd like to say about, in regards to taking an order, there should probably be a written system in your business, not only for what is said on the phone when someone calls to inquire about area rug or oriental rug cleaning from your company, but also if someone walks into your shop. If you do decide to set up a rug spa, a rug cleaning studio, a rug shop, you should have a written system for what happens.
Sure.
If the customer, especially, you're going to be hiring people, and people tend to do what they think is right. The Bible says everyone does what he thinks is right in his own mind, right?
Right.
So that's why we have teaching and systems and procedures. Let's say a customer pulls up in an SUV, and she gets out and she opens the back hatch, and your people in your office are doing something else, right? And they see through the window, oh, there's that lady out there. Hey, look at her open that back hatch. Hey, look, she's trying to take that rug out. Hey, look, it's over her shoulder now. Should I go and open the door and hold it open for her? She'll be able to do it. She got this far with the rug. I don't want to have to stand up, and so that all that stuff actually happens if you don't train how you want it to be. You have
You're
to,
right.
when you own a business and you hire people, you have to teach them how you want to be treated and how you want them to treat your customers. And you have to go over and over and over again, um, and tell them that it's because we're implementing our company mission. That's another thing. It's important to have a one-sentence company mission. That way, you can say to them, if anything goes south, hey, I kind of observed that happened and that lady had to carry her own rug in. Do you think that's really providing the most outstanding service experience ever?
Sure,
And that
sure.
way it's not about their own, shenanigan, but it's more about let's all pull together and really put this mission in our heart and really be all about this mission. And then we write these sort of procedures that are all geared around that mission. And if anything goes wrong, we can just come back to, let's just take a look at this written procedure and say what the procedure says. That way it's not about Dan chewing somebody out or John chewing somebody out or Ray or Jose chewing somebody out. It's about how did we go south of the procedure here?
Right.
And that really
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And that really helps because there's so many different things that develop in the business when you start to grow it and have a brick and mortar side to it, a store, a shop.
Sure. The way that we always like to develop all of it for our company is pretty much all of that stuff that needs to be done. We have a certain system for that, for how we take rugs in, for how we check rugs to see if they're done, for how we even greet somebody walking in the door. You'd be surprised. Before I really realized that we should do this, we could get somebody walking in the door, and our desk for where we take rugs in, and our sort of our cashier desk is kind of far from the door, and people kind of open up the door and kind of peek in and go, is this the right place, and they're kind of scared to walk in. And if you don't train your people that are there to greet them with a smile and even say hello the second they open up the door, they may just stare at them like, huh, yeah, what are you doing here? And then once they get to the counter, they might just go, how can I help you? And how boring is that? The second somebody
Yeah,
opens up the door to our shop,
that's right.
we want them to be
Right.
greeted with a friendly, hi, how are you doing? Do you have a rug? Do you need
Uh-huh.
us to help you get the rug from your car? We're here.
Yeah.
We're here for you. And but a system has to be there for sure for all of that stuff. And if something went south, like you said, it's because the system wasn't followed. Right.
Yeah.
Every single time, if something went south, if a rug forgot to get cleaned the proper way, or a client didn't get reminded, or it didn't, something went wrong, it's because the system didn't get done the way it was supposed to get done. And the question is, who dropped the ball with the system, and what do we need to fix? Who do we need to remind about how to run the system? Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
That's it. And sometimes the system itself needs to be fixed, or in some cases written. We're like, oh, that
Right.
part of our business, we never did write a system for that.
And
Okay,
that's when you
well,
get reminded
can't
about
really
that.
be mad at people for not implementing what they didn't understand in the first place, right? So
Exactly.
let's write that system.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit. Again, I don't want to get too terribly techy, drawn out, but a little bit about the different methods of cleaning. I think, like you mentioned before, I don't either like to really tell my clients for sure how we're going to be cleaning the rugs every single time. I mean, they're kind of on a need-to-know basis, but yet we do explain to them that we pre-test your rug to see if it can be wet cleaned or dry cleaned, and normally here's how we clean it, and we explain the process with the rug badger and with the shampooing of the rug and flushing it out and cleaning the fringe and drying it in a dehumidified, air-controlled room. That's important too, because you got to let them know you're not just going to sit it somewhere on a fence. You got to let them know that you're going to take care of this rug, and you have a special place for this with the professional, proper kind of stuff. But so what do you think about the procedures and all of that for cleaning?
Well, again, I cannot divorce rug cleaning procedures from education. Do not try to do this if you haven't been professionally educated. If you're going to be taking rugs that are not, a shag rug from Costco that has a price tag on it still that says $200 for an 8x10,
Right.
that, go for it. Fire up your truck mount, clean away. But a lot of the rugs we get still have price tags on them that say $2,998, $9,998, $19,998. For some reason they always make it like that. They never say thousand. But there's certain things about wool that you need to know. It's a protein fiber. It's made out of the fur of an animal. It has certain things about it that peculiar to it that are different than silk, that is different than cotton, that is different from a bast fiber such as a sisal or something like that. All of these things have different capacities to withstand water or with not withstand water, to have fading, to have bleeding, to have different texture considerations, to become crunchy. That, once you get a sense for these things, you become a better rug cleaner. But just by going to a professional rug cleaning course of some kind that takes a couple of days, whether it's Ruth or Doug um, or Cameron or Dusty. There's many, Lisa. There's many people, Aaron and Ellen. There's many of these people that you can go to. It's really worth it. It's just as important as spending your money on a truck mount instead of trying to build your business with a portable. And I think that's really the main thing. And once you've got that, you'll have an understanding. If you have a certification by WoolSafe, that's good too, but that's optional. And then as far as where are you going to clean the rugs, you don't have to rent a shop to start washing rugs and start cleaning rugs. Every situation is different. I started doing them in my garage, and I got chased out. I started threatening to fine me because my neighbors knew I was cleaning rugs, in my HOA where my condominium is.
Right.
And so it's one of the reasons we had to get a shop, is because I was trying to live under the radar from our, what do they call those, bylaws of our condominium.
Right.
So, it kind of encouraged us to grow. But then there's all these different methods. The IICRC now recognizes 6 cleaning methods, I think, that are, okay for stain resist nylon carpet or other polyester-based carpets. And Shaw, Stainmaster, Mohawk, Karastan, Kurastan, the other mills, they pretty much concur. Those same 6 cleaning methods or so would be okay for cleaning area rugs, but there's one more. It's full immersion, where you're going to wash the rugs under a few inches of water in some kind of shampoo detergent, and then rinse it out, and then be able to extract most of the water and then dry the rug in that climate-controlled environment, like you mentioned. But there is a lot of testing that has to go on to determine if this rug you're going to immerse is going to be able to be cleaned with that method. If it has urine on it and urine is dried, then it's big suspect for being a bleeder. But many, many other rugs are bleeders too. If bleeding happens, I'm sure, John, we've all had those nights laying awake in the middle of the night thinking, what am I going to tell that customer that that rug bled and now the bleeding has dried on there and we can't get it off? So it's a worthy topic.
We even had a rug, I think I was telling you about this before we started this call, just today, that had a cotton back. We actually had to soak it because it had urine in it. And we normally don't soak cotton back because that's a hand tufted rug, right? And we went ahead and soaked it. It's in our rug authorization. We get a big release sign where we talk about these ins and outs of if you've got cotton backed rug, if you've got urine in your rug, if you got all of this. If anybody'd like a copy of that rug release, just shoot me an email or a Facebook message. I'll be glad to tell you, be glad to give that to you. But it's a really good release form that I've had an attorney look over and all of that. But so it's on the form, but still we like to verbally communicate with them and not just put it on the form and say, well, you signed it, but verbally communicate to them too that this rug has got a special problem and we don't normally like to do this, but fortunately we're going to have to because you have got such a bad rug urine problem. But we went to move the rug, and the rug, little part of it, the cotton backing, tore a little bit. Well, cotton's very susceptible to tearing, and that kind of stuff happens, But at that point, that was in the procedure to, call the client, tell her what happened. But it's not something that really could have avoided. Maybe we could have some, but I mean, it's not really. We let them know that there was going to be a potential for that, but all that was in the system. But that's sort of to do with rug procedure. But anyway, I always like to. Anytime I start talking about immersion, I always like to warn people about those cotton back rugs, because that was the big thing that I learned early on. After I got out of I actually went to the very first IICRC rug cleaning class by Jeff Bishop and Ruth Travis back in.
I've seen pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, but back in I think 2004 was when it was, and I was first all gung ho to soak everything and immerse everything. Then I realized cotton back, let's avoid those. But continue. Go ahead, Dan.
Was it in San Diego?
No, it was in Dothan actually, and I'm in Pensacola, Florida, so it's just a few hour drive for me.
That's where I went to. Yeah, I mean, you need some kind of testing process to determine if the rugs are color fast before you use a lot of water to clean them. Whether you're using a floor wand and hot water extraction or cold water extraction, or whether you're using an immersion method, the process should begin with color fastness testing. The results should be recorded and cataloged. The decision to the cleaning method and the rinse method should be made by someone who knows what they're doing. If you're just getting into this, then, whether you learn from me and you contact me at Four Seasons Rug Care Studio out in California, and I teach you to clean rugs, or you contact one of these other teachers, that person who has had you learn with them is available to you as a consultant. I've called my rug mentors many times, and they've helped me out of jams and to make critical decisions and to determine which way to go, whether or not to immerse a rug. If not to immerse it, then what to do instead. And that's very helpful. But just as a sidebar, hot water extraction doesn't seem to be harmful to Oriental rugs, but that's a little bit controversial. Barry O'Connell has said that the rugs should be cleaned with cold water because of the epicuticle of the fiber. That's the waxy covering over each small, particle of a wool fiber that prevents. That's why when you spill a little water on an Oriental rug, it beads up, even if it hasn't been protected with a carpet or fiber protector, because the waxy substance on each fiber was created by the sheep so that when it rains, the sheep is somewhat water resistant, right? And important to go ahead and know this stuff about wool. But some people say that hot water extraction is not good for that part of the wool. Other people disagree. The opinion of Wool Safe at this time is that hot water extraction is not dangerous to wool fibers, so that's what we're going to hang our hat on.
Good. Well, great. So let's talk a little bit about management. I know we've talked some about management already and procedures. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention about management of? We talked about taking in rugs and the phone script, and all of these are part of the procedures. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about with that?
Yes, there is. But is there one more thing I can say about the rug cleaning procedures?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. In regards to Oriental rug cleaning, I'm not going to say area rugs that were made with machines, because we need to ask ourselves, well, what's an Oriental rug? Well, that goes back to the IICRC definition of what is an area rug. It's a piece of carpet that is not attached to the wall. All right? It's loose. So then what is an Oriental rug? Well, it's an area rug that has to be all made of natural fibers and completely handmade. So these cotton back rugs are not Oriental rugs because they contain latex adhesive in between the face and the primary and secondary backing of the rug. The secondary backing is the cotton. The rugs that are Oriental rugs, that are natural rugs, immersion is a good tool to have, because there are some rugs that have odor problems, and that's the only way you're going to fix that problem.
Right.
If the animal has urinated on that and has dried and has continued to urinate on it over and over again, can you imagine a garment that somebody just peed on over and over again, and in between it just dried and they just kept doing it? That's basically what you're getting when people bring in these rugs. So there are some special tricks that we rug teachers can teach you about how to do great pet odor removal from Oriental rugs. and area rugs that will set you apart in your business as a rug cleaner from everyone else in your market. So
Right.
that's what I wanted to add.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, good. Well, as far as procedures and project management, anything else that you wanted to mention with that?
Yeah. Yes, John. Our particular rug studio has 1,400 square feet of space for rug cleaning. We've found that we need that much space to really have the cleaning uh, areas, the water extraction areas, the dry environment area, and also storage, right?
And
Storage of
how many
dirty rug.
rugs are you guys doing a week?
At this time, I think we have about 25 clean ones and 25 dirty ones.
Okay.
Um,
And that's a pretty
and
average week.
Yeah, sometimes it can spike up to where we have twice that many, and sometimes
Sure.
during a dip in business, we have less. But our goals are to grow and grow and grow. But like I said, we're trying to make the most money we can by helping people as much as we can with each rug. For instance, a lot of times people don't know that they need to have a rug pad. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
what do I need that for? And we let them know a cushioned rug pad helps your rug to last longer because it reduces the impact of traffic. And we show them a threadbare rug. Well, look where it's all been worn through and it's thin because somebody thought they didn't need a rug cushion,
Right.
perhaps.
Yep.
And so all this add-ons and upselling is really just trying to help the customer more and more. But back to the systems of inventory management and project management, you need to have a special form to fill out. Like you said, your rug authorization. It should say something on it that says if there's anything about your rug that reacts adversely to what we do, then that's your liability, not ours.
Right.
And you have to maybe have them initial that and stuff. And area for notes is good. Inspect previous damage and document that so that you can't be blamed for it. Photos, documentation, agreements, signatures, down payment, and finally, you're going to be promising them to get their rug back to them at a certain time, approximately. So obviously that's going to require some systems of reviewing the inventory, what needs to be done next, what stage is each rug at, what needs to be made to happen so that the customer can be contacted and told to come pick up their rug, or we can deliver it for them. There's a lot that goes into that. And when you get really busy, and when you have a service tech side of your business, if that doesn't have systems and a person who's operating those systems, then you can find people are calling, hey, what's up, man? It's been 4 weeks. You said you'd have my rug back to me in 10 days.
Yeah.
So that needs to be put together, and we have ways of doing that we're real proud of.
Yeah, you can't just leave that up to your employees to just get rugs done because they'll get rugs done when they want to get rugs done, and sometimes it's not within any reasonable amount of time. Yeah, as a side note too, every time I talk about rugs, I like to mention this, but I love rug cleaning for a couple of reasons, and mostly because it's something that can be filled in the schedule when needed, in emergencies, like when Monday morning, if first job cancels, which it always seems like that's the most likely job to cancel, well, that's fine. We got a few hours. We got several rugs that we need to have done anyway, and the technicians will just do rugs, and then we'll free up some other time that we planned on doing rugs and do something else, and so we love it for that reason. And then sometimes too, if we're really busy and the guy that was supposed to be cleaning rugs needs to be out of the truck, he can do that because the rug didn't have to be done that particular day, or he can do it after hours or whatever. There's no set schedule like you do for carpet cleaning or tile cleaning. And then the other thing I love about it is I can, speaking about the procedures, is I can monitor the guy doing the rug a lot better than I can the guy out in somebody's home cleaning carpet or cleaning tile. Yeah, I love that because a lot of the times whenever I have a new technician, the first thing that I'll do is I'll have him clean rugs. I know that sounds crazy, but the thing that I'll have him do is I'll actually look at the rug and show him this is a rug that you clean this way, this is a rug that you don't clean. talk to me or let one of the other guys that know what they're doing clean that one. But here, this rug's fine because this is a nylon rug, or this is a wool rug, but it's been totally pre-tested and it's not gonna bleed, and you're okay to clean this one. And so I'm giving him rugs that he can't screw up, and now he's learning the technique for the wand. And then I'll have somebody come in, or I'll go in and check it to see how dry it is and make sure that it looks good.
Yeah.
But for rugs, I love that part, about rugs too. It's easier to monitor than in-home cleaning. But anyway, I just wanted to add that bit about there about my love for rug cleaning, and really that procedure that there's got to be a procedure in there for all of that kind of stuff. We have a procedure for how do we determine if the rug's dry. You feel it with your hand. We actually use moisture meters to make sure that the rug's dry before we go and roll it up. But go ahead. What else did you want to mention, if anything, about procedures?
Well, you have to come up with your own. I don't know at this time of any procedure that is offered anywhere that's like a turnkey, here, buy our system of managing your rug shop. But I'll tell you what, I used to be a soup cook at a vegetarian restaurant in Canoga Park, California, and I used to get compliments for my soup from Mike Farrell, who was BJ on the MASH TV show, from the Captain Neil, who used to eat there, from Mike Love of the Beach Boys, and from Michael Jackson, by the way. So I used to have a job where I cooked for the stars at a little shop in Los Angeles, and you'd have to work with the kitchen manager to order vegetables, right? If you ordered too many vegetables by the biggest boxes, then by the time you used it, it would be rotten, right? So you had to have systems of ordering, just know what your order point is. So in other words, we do a lot of it the same way you manage your chemicals in your carpet cleaning business, where I know some guys who buy enough chemicals for their carpet cleaning business on one of those customer appreciation days to last the whole year. This is not what I'm talking about.
Wow.
The way that most people do it is they look at what they've got, they know what their order point is, they know at that order point how much to order, and then to make sure they don't have too much. It's the same with your rugs. You're going to be analyzing what you've got, what needs to be done next, who's going to do it, how they're going to do it, and then you're going to keep all this concurrently going with making some kind of plan to contact the customer and let them know what's going on too at one point. There could possibly be some upsells in that for you. Mrs. Jones, your rug came out fantastic. However, I know you were very concerned about those spots and stains, and you did not add the carpet protector to that rug order. We could still do that. Would that be something you might want to do? So that all goes into the procedure too. Tracking what else is supposed to be done to the rug besides just cleaning it. Is it supposed to be protected? Is it supposed to have a pad cut for it? Is it supposed to be treated with moth treatment, which is something that in the springtime right now we're really doing a lot of work for people to prevent moths and also to de-moth rugs that have been attacked.
Yeah. And what product are you using? Is it the product by ChemMax from Paul Lucas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're using the ChemMax Moth Resist. We wear a PPE and a respirator and goggles, and make sure to turn off all the fans. Work in a ventilated area, right? It's probably one of the worst chemicals we have in anything that we ever use, but it is very effective. And from what I know about it, it's about as toxic as some of our reducing agents, some of our sulfur-based, cotton shampoo and things like that. It's not really any worse than that. It could be compared to the sulfur that's in matches. That's why the Karastan company, a lot of the machine-made Oriental-style rugs. You see, that's what you'll be learning as you add area rugs to your business to have phenomenal sales, is you'll be able to learn what's the difference between a Karastan rug and an Oriental rug. Is that an Oriental rug? It looks like an Oriental rug. Well, you'll learn why it's an Oriental style rug. But anyway, a great deal of their rugs have a sticker on the back that say permanently protected and moth-proofed.
Mm-hmm.
That's because this product lasts for a long time and can survive 2 professional cleanings or wash processes. And it's a really good add-on. because we hate to see what happens when people have, an incident where their house becomes infested and the rugs get big holes in them.
Right.
Those moths love to, find a rug that they find particularly tasty and just really eat all the way through.
Not good.
It's gross.
What do you charge for moth proofing?
We charge $1 a square foot just because it has moths, and we charge another $1 a square foot for moth proofing both sides. So
Good.
$2.
And that's in addition to the cleaning, obviously. So
Yes.
good.
Yes.
And then you pretty much can't moth proof it without cleaning it unless it's brand new. So yeah.
That's true. If it does have moths, don't let any of those moths get in your shop.
Right. Oh yeah.
Keep them outside of your shop. They hate the sun. They like shade. They like shadow. So there's just different ways that you can pretty much help the customer make the determination. Has the rug been so chewed up that you don't really recommend them doing anything with it, which is the case sometimes. And in other cases, we do a lot of stuff to help them remove all the moths and eggs. And I have a freezer, a deep freeze in my shop that holds rugs up to about 5 by 7. If they're larger than that, then I have other ways of getting rid of the moths and then finally, doing the wash process and then using the moth resist. But it's something that makes you unique in your market because other carpet cleaners would just be telling the people, oh, we don't know what to do about that. Call Four Seasons.
Right. Oh yeah.
Okay. Brings in business.
It's a specialty kind of thing. And again, just so that everybody doesn't have to end up emailing me to ask, the moth resist product again is by ChemMax at chem-max.com. Let me double check that is that the website? Do you know for sure? Let me double check.
I'm not sure, but yeah, that's Paul Lucas. You can get it from him or from Cameron Mayville at Bright and Clean, who's a distributor of that.
Right. And you can also, if anybody has questions about the stuff, contact us on our Facebook cleaning marketing discussion group, and we'll give you a link or we'll lead you in the right direction.
Right, but here's the thing about the moths. The idea is not to get a bunch of area rugs that are infested with moths. The idea is to be them, just like the water damage and restoration business is we're mold preventers. By being someone who gives consultation and information and advice and recommends cleaning and moth resist, you're a moth infestation preventer.
Right.
Okay? And that's why we're doing this newsletter with you, John. We're sending out this thing, the big picture of the beautiful rug we're sending this to our previous clients. Don't let this happen to you. Call us now for cleaning and moth treatment.
Perfect, and that's a perfect scenario to use a client newsletter or a postcard for. Exactly. Communication, education, and I'm sure you put a special offer in there too. I took a
we
glance at it,
did. We
but
put a thing in there where go ahead and get one. We put a killer offer, right? Like you said, if you want a big bang, give them a killer deal. So what ours is going to be is go ahead and get one area rug cleaned at a regular price, and get the second one cleaned at half off, plus free moth proofing on both rugs.
Nice.
That's up to a $500 value.
Boom. Double-decker deal offer they can't refuse. I'm sure you're going to get a ton of rugs coming in, especially when you're sending this to people who have used you before. I mean, they love you already, and they're gonna call. So good. By the way, the website was not chem-max. It's ChemMax. There's no dash. .com, just like ChemMax.com. So great. Well, Dan, any parting words of wisdom that you wanted to give us about just anything?
Yes, I mean, just about adding area rugs. If you're in the cleaning business and you're wondering, should I start handling the whole issue of area rugs and oriental rugs in a different way? I just encourage you guys out there, you guys and gals, to go for it if you think it's something that might work for you because, like I said, the carpet cleaning business has changed a lot, and with the advent of hard surface, it's really important, I think, to know how to help people with these area rugs. It's a great way to like John mentioned, have something that when the service tech calls taper off a little bit, that there's still work happening at your shop, or even if it's amazingly busy, then you have that side of the business too. And I enjoy it a lot. Each piece of rug is an art. I'm also learning rug ID from Barry O'Connell and other people so that I can tell people, oh yeah, this one has a Turkish knot. That's a Turkish rug. They're like, really? Oh, they just came down for a quote and they're like, I'm definitely leaving this rug here. This guy knows what he's talking about. So
Sure.
I really like that part of the business, and I just think it would be probably a good move for a lot of people. And I know a lot of people who've given it a shot, and I'm so glad that they did.
Right. Good. Good. Well, that's it. And then really in business, it's about moving in the direction that the whole not economy, but really where it's just sort of evolving into is rug cleaning and getting just out of carpet cleaning. I mean, you're gonna die if you stay stuck in the same spot doing just carpet cleaning. There's some
Mm.
guys that maybe that won't. So I won't say that for sure. I won't just blanket say that. So I take that back. But I will say for some of you, you might be in risk of that, depending on the size of your town, depending on how you built your business. But it would be a wise idea to venture, if not rug cleaning, into something else in addition, because of the fact that rugs have lost market. But two, why not go in and just clean everything that's down there? You don't have to. For
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It helps you to develop a high-end business because what we say, somebody walks up to me, or if I meet someone in an elevator, I know you, don't you? What do you do? I used to say, I'm a carpet cleaner. Then I used to say, well, I own a carpet cleaning business. Then I used to say, I'm a cleaning business. What I say now is, well, we provide top-level service. We have a first-class company that gives first-class service, and what we take care of is fine oriental and other area rugs made out of wool and silk and other fine materials, and beautiful floors of marble and travertine and porcelain tile, and beautiful furnishings and sofas of rayon and viscose and polyester and other cotton and other things, and also fine carpet cleaning.
right. There you go. Positions you as the expert, and you can charge a lot more for it and make your clients happier because they'll actually feel good about hiring somebody that knows what they're doing, right? So good. Well,
Yeah.
all right, Dan. I definitely appreciate you giving us some feedback and just telling us about what you've been doing. And I know this is going to help out a lot of guys that were in the same spot that you were in a few years ago. And it's going to help a lot of guys really get the vision of transforming their business into just a carpet cleaning company that only does, $50 or $100,000 a year or something, into a real business. And venturing out, and I'm sure this is going to really give incentive to a lot of guys. So I appreciate you doing this, and let's maybe even do it again sometime in the future with maybe some more specifics on rugs or something else along those lines.
Okay, sounds good.
All
Sounds good. Any way I can be helpful, anybody can contact me on Facebook, except I'm Daniel on there, Daniel Trout.
right, Daniel Trout, do you want to give out your phone number or your website or any of your contact information?
Yeah, sure. You can reach us at venturarugspa.com.
Great.
Ventura rugspa, SPA.com.
Great. Perfect. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it again, Dan. Thanks a lot.
You bet.
Okay.
Have a good night, John.
Thanks.
All right.